Welcome to Fueled by Coffee podcast. My name is Matt. I am your host. Today, I welcome you to part 1 of our season 2 finale. It's been a great season so far. We've had discussions about music. We've talked about making donuts. We have talked about my infatuation with WAWA. We have discussed my previous childhood career as a backyard wrestler. We've talked about the birds. We have talked about just experiences in life. And now we are here today. We're going to have a 2-part finale. I'm sitting here currently with my brother-in-law, Sean, who I have known for the better part of probably over 15 years now.
Yeah.
I was like 5 when we met, I'm pretty sure. Five or six.
I think you were 6.
It's been a very, very long time, and been through many different interests together, I would say, as I've grown up and gone through my different phases, but we always have connected because I was always into similar things as a kid that Sean liked, either as a kid growing up or even as an adult. We were always like synced up on what we liked.
Well, I mean, our birthdays are pretty close together in the month of January. Yeah, maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. His birthday is a week after mine. I mean, he's 10 years older than I am, but in terms of a date, over the years, we've done lots of things. We have gone through the skateboarding phase, which we're kind of back into now.
Yeah, I don't think that ever goes away.
Yeah,
because you're always going to love the video games at least.
Yeah,
and I still like watching skate videos.
Yeah,
and now I'm showing Killian that stuff, and he's like loving it.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I remember like when Sean first started coming over, like we were playing Tony Hawk together. He brought over Underground.
Yes.
And then when the skate games came out,
oh my god,
game changer.
Oh.
And then so good. As I got older, I got into pro wrestling, and I remember saying to Sean like, "Hey, I really like pro wrestling. Do you ever watch it?" And he goes, "Yeah, I grew up watching it." And then we started just watching wrestling and playing the SmackDown versus Raw games and creating all sorts of characters. We had like a roster full of our guys, the Electric Lizard, Death, Matt Lazonia.
All the serious guys of ours.
Yeah. And as time went on, it went from beefed up, overpowered, strong boys to the opposite end of the spectrum, absolute weakness.
0 overall.
Yeah, and it went from us like actually playing the matches and just destroying everyone in the game to we would just let the computer duke it out as these 0 overall, mentally challenged, just absolute train wrecks of creative characters, humans, whatever you want to call them.
Absolute shit shows.
Yes, but it is just, as my interests have evolved and I became a musician, I got really into music and recording and doing all sorts of things. Sean's always been a musician and really into music. So, my interests have always lined up with his interests. I don't know if we have just, I guess, your influence on me growing up to blame for that. I don't want to say to blame, but like to thank for that, or if it's just
I don't know. I mean, you definitely have your own things too.
Yeah,
I've never been a football, but I enjoy the game, but
you're not like a sports guy.
I don't care.
I wouldn't say I'm a sports guy. I just love the Eagles.
Yeah.
But
I like hockey, but I don't follow anything religiously like you do.
Going to sports games is fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've always loved that.
Yeah. But our interests have always just lined up. And over time, Sean joined the military when I was probably like 13, maybe 14, going around that age. He's gone for a while, and then him and my sister and their family moved back up here probably like 3 years ago. It was 2017, and since then it was just like pick up where we left off. I'm a lot older now, a lot more experienced, and it was a lot more fun because as a kid, you're like when there's like that age gap, and like me being a kid, there was only so much we can do, and then like when you guys moved back up, it was like, let's go to Walmart at midnight and just goof around and do all sorts of go hang out at a diner till 3 a.m. and drink coffee.
Yep.
I
was kind of like reliving my high school years with you.
Yeah, and it's just like
it's so weird.
There's just so many more opportunities to do different things now that when they moved back up here I was older. So it's been a great time, and we've done lots of things. We've gone on long night drives, we've had long talks, we have had the long coffee nights. And
we've been on a long train ride together too.
A long train ride where we ate
and
a
then
beefy
a long
sandwich.
Penske ride.
Long Penske ride. Yeah, we moved your house up here.
Yep.
Lots of
good times, man.
Good times.
Painting the house down there, that was great. Too much fun jamming out and talking shit.
It was almost a disaster though too, because I remember, quick sidebar before we get into our little intro, we were told that everything would be put in boxes and we put it on the truck, and every corner we turned there was stuff in closets, like things were not packed up, and we were like, oh son of a bitch, and they'd be like, oh wait, we got to do the attic, oh nothing's packed up here. We were literally getting to the point where we were just throwing things into the back of the trucks.
Well, yeah,
into the truck.
There's like little odds and ends that just never got packed for whatever reason. We were rushing, you know.
Yeah, but either way, I mean, like, it was a good time. It was definitely a fun, well, it would have been a week.
We cut a tree down.
We did cut a tree.
I always forget that. Was
Yeah.
it like a cypress or something?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
I remember that though.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was interesting. Yeah, just lots of good memories, you know, Walmart trips, diner trips, drives, talks, video games, you know, whatever. But today, I think one of the most fun things, today we're going to discuss one of the most fun things that we have done in this new era.
Hold on. That anyone's ever done.
That anyone's ever done. I guarantee there's people out there who haven't done this, though, so I recommend you go do it now.
It's a blasty blast.
It's a blast. Well, yeah. It'll
make you blast.
Yeah, it's a blast in your ass.
Oh, shit.
No, I think one of the most interesting things that we have done in this, I guess, new era, new level of our relationship together, we started going on Q-Mart adventures.
Hell yeah.
We're going to get into that in a second, but we have a couple housekeeping items, odds and ends to tie up before we get into the heart of the episode.
Oh, boy.
So every episode, we drink a different type of coffee, and it has eluded me all season. Wawa is my favorite type of coffee, and today the coffee of choice is finally Wawa. Thank God we saved the best for last for the finale. Sean has drank his already, but what did you have?
A long time ago.
What did you have earlier?
I just did the dark roast with a bit of hazelnut creamer.
Very nice.
I'm just used to drinking dark roast.
Normally I do the regular or the Colombian with hazelnut.
I like the Cuban. Is very good for me too.
I tried the Cuban and there was something I didn't like about it. It was almost like it was like a little dry or something.
Yeah.
It was weird, yeah.
See, like all I drink like my regular coffee at home is Death Wish, and that's a dark roast.
They sell that at Walmart now. Did you know that?
Do they really?
I saw bags
awesome.
of it at Walmart. It was like $20 for a bag though.
Yeah, I get a subscription and it's way less than that. So yeah. But so since I'm always drinking a dark roast, when I drink anything lighter than that, it just tastes like water almost to me. Like it's just like not like worth it, because I like the taste of coffee. That's why I drink a dark roast.
Yeah, gotcha. Gotcha.
So yeah, it always tastes weak.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. Whatever.
Today, as I said, normally I go for a regular or a Colombian blend, but Wawa has this new seasonal flavor. I think they're gearing up for their fall coffee line. It's making me go. I sampled it. I am not a fan of flavored coffees normally, but last time I was at Wawa, the lady behind the counter said, "Here, sample it. Put some French vanilla creamer in it. It's really good." They have a blueberry cobbler flavored coffee.
Weird.
I'm normally not a flavored coffee fan. Even blueberry. John from Food Truck, who's on episode 1 of the season, he loves his iced coffee from Dunkin' with a blueberry shot in it.
John also has a vagina.
Oh no.
The beef is on, John.
I've tried.
The beef is on. I'm calling you out.
I've tried it, and it's just like I don't like it. Like I did not like it. But this,
weird. I mean, that's Dunkin' though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wawa coffee is honestly, I am spoiled with Wawa coffee. One day I'm going to do an episode detailing my first Wawa experience, like getting coffee in a sizzly. That's going to be a story that's coming up. Maybe part of a new series I'm working on.
Not many things beat a Wawa coffee and a sizzly.
Yep.
What kind is your favorite sizzly? I'm asking the questions now, bitch.
Oh my God. I don't even know, man. Sausage, egg, and cheese.
Just the regular sausage, egg, and cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an interesting one, though, last year. I think it may have been the last time I had a sizzly, honestly. It was when I picked up the new Madden.
It's been a long time for me as well.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this a fun day. I'm depressed as shit. New Madden comes out. I'm going to get a WAWA coffee and a sizzly for breakfast. And they have waffle sizzlies.
Oh, my God.
It's waffles on top and bottom.
I haven't had one yet.
It was phenomenal.
Like, I love the French toast ones. And I love the pancake ones.
I've had those
pancake ones, right? Am I thinking right? Yeah.
Yeah. Because the first time I had
French toast
Wawa,
and pancakes, they're great.
Yeah.
I mean, waffle sounds like a game changer, dude.
It was delicious. And not to ruin the story that I'm going to tell at a later date, but definitely the first time I had the Wawa breakfast experience, I got a bagel sizzly and a French toast sizzly.
Hey, I've been there.
Because I was like, oh my God. That's when I was a fat boy.
It's too good.
But I was like, oh my God, what do I pick? I was like, yeah, screw it. I'm just going to get both.
Yeah, why not? Sometimes you just got to live, dude.
But, yeah.
Sometimes you just got to clog those arteries.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, I'm a lot healthier now than I was then. But
yeah.
But either way, yeah, so I decided on the blueberry cobbler coffee with some French vanilla creamer. I'm still drinking it 4 hours later. I think I was trying to save it just for the podcast. I got a 24 ounce, but I think
that's not even, I mean, I drink that in and there's still some in there.
I think I just wanted to make sure I had some for the podcast.
See, mine got cold, right when we got in the car. It was already cold.
Which is weird.
It was just warm.
It's weird because normally Wawa coffee's like lava hot, and it was like pretty.
See, I think it's always where it should be.
See, my first I'm not going to ruin the story.
Sorry.
No. I'm just.
We won't get on this subject. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well,
I apologize.
We'll deviate.
Let's get back to Q-Mart.
Let's get back. Yeah. So today, my coffee of choice, the blueberry cobbler, French vanilla creamer. Moving on.
It wasn't bad. It's all right.
It's good. I think it'll be a better fall flavor.
For once in a while, little.
Yeah. Little change up.
Frou.
That's how I feel about the gingerbread flavor that they have around the Christmas time.
Yeah, I don't mind a little bit of spice in my coffee.
I was skeptical about it, and then I tried it, and I was like, wow, this is really good. Again, French vanilla, gingerbread.
Yeah.
But moving forward, the question of the season has been, who are your top 3 artists in rotation right now? Not in any special order, just who have you been listening to most heavily? I believe you brought a couple up earlier off air.
I did. Recently, I just got into The End, like a hardcore kind of death metal influenced hardcore band, and Zabalba. They're like some kind of Spanish, right?
Okay, yeah, sure.
You said you knew them. I mean,
I've heard the name before.
Oh yeah, I know them.
I've heard the name before.
Yeah, they're half their lyrics are, well, probably more than half are in Spanish.
Yeah.
I don't speak Spanish, but their grooves are sick.
Gotcha.
They got the slams and whatnots.
I feel like Dickie from Austin Dickey from the Dickie Dine show or Jared Dines or whatever.
I'm sure he's into that.
I think that's where I've heard it before. Because the one thing he's all being all weird and shit. I think that's where I
know what that name means. What is that?
I don't know. It also sounds like something out of Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or
Yeah, it's probably something crazy. And honestly, so I'm pretty sure you don't care for them, but it's totally different. The story so far.
I like the story so far.
Do you?
Yeah, I wouldn't say every album. I would say I think it's their first album, the one that has Quicksand and Rome and Pens and Knives or whatever the hell the song's called, Swords and Pens. I think that's what it is.
Are we talking about Black Veil Brides?
No, that's Pens and I don't even. No, that's Pens and Knives or something like that.
Yeah, something.
No, but yeah, the story so far. I think it's their first album. I really, really like. Everything after that, I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah,
I'm more of a Neck Deep guy.
Neck Deep's good.
Let's start the war right now.
That's good stuff. I gravitate towards the heavy, man. Yeah. It's just in my blood. Yeah. I don't know. And
that's the cool thing. I think everyone I've talked to on the podcast this season has had a different type of music taste, so we got an eclectic pool of bands for people to check out, and that's why I did this kind of little segment, was because I want to hopefully open people up to new bands, and maybe they'll find something they didn't like or they didn't know they liked before, and they may be like, wow, shit, that's my new favorite band, or new favorite artist. So
I'm into very extreme stuff, so
yeah,
use caution when looking up my shit.
Wear a diaper.
Yeah, maybe wear a diaper. Started out quiet, and then turn up the volume. No, just blast it, please. just
go in head
full
first.
force.
Head first.
Yeah, full force.
No, cool stuff. But we're going to jump right in now. One of the things that Sean and I have loved doing since he moved back up to Pennsylvania is going to Q-Mart. Now, the Lehigh Valley area, Q-Mart is in Quakertown. It's the Quakertown Farmers Market. And what can we find there, Sean? What
Oh my God!
What entails?
What can't you find there?
Yep, there you go. There's the question.
You can find a lot of white trash. That's for damn sure. I mean, if you want some exotic pets, they have those like tarantulas
or a giant 200-year-old tortoise.
Yeah, like how is it? It's not 200 years old.
I think it can live to be 200 years old.
Yeah?
I think it's like probably well into its life, though.
It's pretty old, I would say.
Yeah, they have a giant tortoise that like a toddler
All
could
kinds
ride
of
on its
weird
back.
fish and shit, and they have snakes, but then they also have like some like ghetto ass military surplus that's like that place sucks.
Yeah.
And then that one, my favorite store, the one where the guy has all the vacuum shit. And it's just like thrown all over the place.
Like
he just like stuffed it in there. Oh my God, it's so horrible.
Literally, like you walk
Just
by
fucking
and you're like,
stinks.
"Yep, there's the vacuum store." And
You're
it's
like,
just
ugh.
and then occasionally you'll see the owner. It's just like this man's head poking out.
It's like just mean mugging everyone.
Don't touch my vacuums.
Yeah,
That's my wife.
they have like 2 butchers, I think, and the one time I don't know if they had some bad meat or I think it was around Christmas
I feel
time.
like the last few times we've been there,
It's been
we're
stinky.
like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's been stinky.
Oh,
I was there around Christmas time with Anthony, our cousin Anthony, and it smelled. There was like a. I shit you not. Like, I don't want to say ghetto. I don't want to say white trash. There's a mix of the two. It was a beat Q-Mart Santa. He had his own little stall at the Q-Mart.
Oh boy.
It just absolutely smelled like someone shit their pants really hard. And
You're not Santa. You smell like beef and cheese. Is that what it is?
you sit on a throne of lies. And it was literally like, we were like, God, what is it? And I think it was one of the butchers. I think they had some sort of rancid meat or someone shit themselves mixed with the smell of the butcher.
Well, I mean,
But when
Q-Mart, I think most people there shit themselves. So
and we walked past.
I know I've shit myself at Q-Mart.
Oh man,
Damn.
yeah, that's usually the place. To sidebar, I guess we're talking about farting at Q-Mart now, or pooping at Q-Mart, whatever. Last time I was there, it was like right after they opened up after quarantine, but all the stores were closing early, and I went with my girlfriend Kayla, and we were walking around. I was like, "Oh, I got to fart, babe." I was like, "I really got to," and she was like, "Do
Just
it."
let it rip.
She
at
was do it.
Q-Mart, dude.
I've never been with someone though, besides you, who's been like, "Do it, fart right now." Like, even like in the dating world, I was with someone who'd be like, "Oh," they'd be all embarrassing. Kayla was like, "Do it right now," and I was like, "Really?" I was so excited, and then I
push it out, make it loud.
I ripped a couple.
Make me proud.
I ripped a couple big loud farts, and like one of them like echoed through the hall, and there were people behind me, and I was like, I wonder if they heard that. I was dying. I was in tears. And she was like, "Oh my God!" Like I did it like 3 or 4 times. She's like, "Again? Really?" Like I was like, "You told me to do it. This is your fault. You brought this pain upon yourself."
I'm gonna take advantage and shit all over. Wait. Shit all over myself, I guess.
But yeah,
my voice just cracked. That was nice.
So usually Q-Mart smells like doo-doo, but we walked past the Santa booth, and
Except for by the bakery, it smells really good.
Yeah, they have a bakery there. The secret ingredient. I've never bought anything, but it was recommended to me.
Secret ingredient.
That's what it's called.
People.
Oh, hey, I don't know if that's how baking works.
You sure? I mean, I've seen Sweeney Todd, dude. I know, like they put humans in pies sometimes.
All right. But yeah, we walked past the Santa booth and we joked around. Maybe Santa shit himself, or maybe someone shit and filled the couch cushions in the Santa sofa with shit.
Dear God.
But yeah, anyways, so Q-Mart, interesting smells, interesting people.
Lots of smells.
My favorite store I think I like to go to is the record store.
Yes.
They always have something there.
They have some good shit.
Even like I will go into the 50-cent room and I will go through every single box of CDs and I will find some gems.
Yeah.
like John Mayer. I found the Backstreet. Well, he has like 1,000 copies of the Backstreet Boys.
Hell yeah!
Don't shit on the Backstreet Boys, by the way.
Don't do that.
I've talked to
Great
people who are like,
production.
"Ooh, why would you listen to that?" And I'm like, "Look, listen,
Great
guys.
quality sound. I mean,
You and I've had this discussion before.
Tons of times.
When Sean's first job back up in Pennsylvania was it a company in like Percy, or it was like down pretty far, right? You had to drive pretty far to work.
Oh no! I
To
mean,
the
like
office?
we were stationed in Nazareth, and then
Oh, okay.
well, no, sorry, not Nazareth, Northampton,
Okay.
and then we would mostly drive down to Reading like
Yeah.
every day.
Because I remember you telling me like you had like a long car ride for some reason, and you were listening to, you just had like your Amazon on shuffle,
Yeah.
and you were like, dude, like, do you ever listen to like NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys? And I was like, honestly, like, no, I haven't really given it a thought. And you were like, dude, like the production on it's just next level. And we got into talking about like the production.
And it's funny
on
because that's like 90s, 2000s, like
late 90s, early 2000s,
Yeah.
like pop music, and you look at it and you're like, you know, even like nowadays, I mean, pop music's really overproduced now, but back then it was just really clean and crisp and just smooth.
And everything had a place, and it was right there
They
in
made
the
it
right
fit.
spot.
Yes.
Yeah. Nasty hooks.
Yeah. And honestly, like last time I was there with Albert, my younger sister, yes, I call her Albert, I bought Backstreet Boys CD, and we were
Which
jamming
one?
it.
Which one?
Millennium.
Oh yeah.
We were jamming it on the way home, and I was like, you know what? This is really good. I would even like to get their newest one. I heard one of the singles off of it, and I was like, this is tight. Backstreet's back, bro.
Oh, again?
They had an album called
Part two?
DNA,
Oh boy.
and the single off of it was really good. But either way, yeah, so the record store, Q-Mart, great finds.
Oh, yeah.
He has, you know, everything from like metal to pop punk to emo to Mac DeMarco to, I love that Mac DeMarco is just his own genre.
Yeah.
He's got
I'd
like
have to
classic
say
rock.
so.
He's got, you know, like
I've even
jazz,
found my
blues.
Uncle Tony's band. Well, one of his old 90s
local
bands.
stuff.
And I was like, wait, what?
Didn't your
Yeah.
cousin play like violin on one
Yeah.
of the songs or something? Yeah. Like
It's so dope.
just crazy stuff, and he's always on top of the new releases. That's
Oh, yeah.
That's the other
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Like I've been to record stores where they just like, I don't know, they have like almost like a fence that they buy from, like someone will bring them stuff, and or like they'll be the fence. Someone will bring them stuff and be like, hey, this isn't for resale, but like you can sell it, and it's just like kind of like junk CDs.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like new. I'm doing air quotes right now, new. But like I don't know what I don't know what the guy's name is at Q-Mart.
We should probably talk to him at some point.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. Always
Yeah,
super friendly.
he's
Always
always
super
cool.
grateful that
He
we're.
probably looks at some of our shit that we get like all at once, and he's like, geez, like what the fuck are these guys into?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was like the one time last summer I went and I got like Galore, which is
Oh, yeah.
a collection of the Cure's hits from the 80s and early
So
90s,
good.
I think, or 70s, 80s, and early 90s. And then I got like John Mayer, I think, and Def Jam Records Best Of.
So, yeah,
And-
that's a mixed batch right there.
And there was another CD that was just like really out there, but like those were all 50 cent room finds. I was
That's
like,
great.
you know, and I
Damn.
think I spent $4.
I can't even believe that you found Galore in the 50-cent room.
I
Like,
know.
That's
I found
so
it there
dope.
multiple times. I've even
Damn.
found like other Cure albums in there,
Wow.
like Blood Flowers and
Wow.
yeah.
Damn.
I've found like Blink-182 albums in there. Like,
I mean, they belong there.
oh, hot takes.
Depending on the one.
No, like Dude Ranch.
Oh yeah, no, but that doesn't belong in there.
Take off your pants and jacket.
Doesn't belong in there.
You know, like I could see ones that were like like Enema of the State. I could see being in there because that was pretty mass produced.
Well,
And there'd be lots of extra copies,
Yeah. Oh,
some
yeah.
beat up ones. But
Yeah.
like I found solid copies of like Dude Ranch and, you know, albums, and I'm like,
Cheshire
really?
Cat.
No, I haven't found one yet. You know what I've been on the search for though is if I ever find one in a record store, they had a pressing of Cheshire Cat that was just Blink before they had the 182 on the end.
Oh,
you can
really?
find rare pressings where it just says Blink on
Damn.
the album.
Good luck.
Yeah. But either way, yeah.
That'd
So
be ridiculous.
record store, great mix of stuff. Really, really friendly shop owner, good businessman.
Oh yeah.
I rep their shirt. I have 2 of their shirts. I want to get a third one.
How many times have we farted in there?
You more than I.
Yeah, I know.
You're always
I
on.
know.
I'll look over and Sean will be giving me this
Oh,
look. And I'm
God.
like, oh, here we go.
I gotta go. Like,
But either way, yeah, the guy's and he's always on top of the new releases. He's got a whiteboard even that has like 4 weeks in advance, and it'll have
great.
all the releases that are coming out, and he's always got them for you.
Go there. Plug him right now. Record
Revival in Q-Mart, Quakertown Farmers Market in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. You can find him on like the left side of the building. I'd say down towards the middle of the shops, down towards the middle of the strip, all the way on the left side of the building. You can go check him out. I go there for all of my local releases. I've bought, the Last to Date Remember album there. I went there when Blink-182's latest album came out. I literally drove down there on a Friday night. Like, I had to go to bed. I had to get up at 1 a.m. for work, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go support Record Revival right now. And I drove down. I bought the vinyl. I bought the CD. I got the modem, the router. That's an inside joke. No, I just, I go there for everything. So check out the Record Revival. I think they're on Instagram, and they're probably on Facebook as well.
Damn, I didn't know they had an Instagram.
Yeah, but
I'm slacking.
Great record store if you're looking for somewhere to buy music. Definitely, they nudged out Siren. Siren Records is fucking trash now.
Where is that at?
It's in Doylestown.
Okay.
I used to go down there and leave with like.
Yeah, you know what? You never took me there. That's right.
I mean, I'll have to take you still, but it's like now it's just not as good. But Record Revival, I highly recommend them. Go check them out.
He's like always on top of it. Like since the first time we went, we're never disappointed.
Yep. I always leave there with something. If I have money to spend, I always end up spending money there.
You can't not.
No. Dude, you know what I even found there? They had Elliott Smith's band that he was in before he was Elliott Smith. Heat Miser. He had one of their demos there.
That's sick.
That's like underground shit. Yeah.
Wow.
So he's got everything.
That's oh my god. That's beautiful.
Another record,
right?
What?
You bought it.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say you did not pass that up.
I could not. I was like, this.
Was that in the 50 Cent room?
No, that was actually like out in like the main room
shit.
Where he has like a wall of CDs that are all like $5 or less.
Oh yeah.
And he was like in that section.
Damn.
Yeah.
Usually that's like butt albums for the most part, like Nickelback and
Puddle of Mud. There's a video game store that we like to go to.
Yeah.
We've bought the one time they had a whole bunch of PS1 games on sale.
Yes.
And we picked all those up. We picked a shit ton of those up. We got like Driver.
Yes.
And
great game.
I forget what else we got, man. I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was so long ago. But either way,
I can't remember.
There's a video game store. As Sean said, there's a pet store with all sorts of weird animals.
Oh my God,
how about
they're huge?
How about the? I'm gonna let you talk about this for a little bit. Describe the warehouse grocery store in the back.
Oh God, I forgot about that place. How many times have we gone in there?
I think we went in once just to see what it was like, and we didn't even go all the way in. Like we got
I'm
like
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There was like all this old dusty shit, and, like, broken boxes of like old Pop-Tarts and shit, and you're like, okay. And like the demographic in there, it was just, I don't know. It felt uncomfortable. There was just a lot of hicks.
We walked in and we walked like to the left side of the store, and we were like, all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, they're all kind of looking at us like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
And
why are you in here?
And that's the thing is like, I guess just to kind of capture like the people at Q-Mart, like we walk in there and people know that we're not Q-Mart people.
We're outsiders.
Like you ever hear of like the people of Walmart? It's like there's the people of Q-Mart.
It's like the people of Walmart meets The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh no! Oh man!
Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But yeah, like we go in there and like we're probably the best looking people, and that's not the shit on. I love Q-Mart.
No, we are not. No, we're probably. And I'm not normally, like, I'm attractive. Yeah. Like I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
But like at Q-Mart, I'm that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so Q-Mart, it's just like a fun adventure. And then out back, every time we went we went one time, and they've been closed every time we've gone since. They have these barns, the barn stores.
I feel like we went twice.
Maybe we went twice.
Maybe 3 times.
But like
we've been in there more than once.
There's like one that was like had really nice furniture in it, and like a nice bicycle that we saw.
Oh God.
But then
beautiful
like
bike.
The other one, we walked in the door and it was just like complete shithole, like junk.
Oh my God.
Everywhere. You could barely walk. There was like not even an aisle to walk down.
That was the first thing that you saw when you opened the door was just like this shit shack. Oh
the shit shack.
It was just horrible. Just random shit.
Yeah.
Old VHSs and just everything
Art.
had like an inch of dust on it.
Yeah.
And if you want to call it art, I guess.
Yeah. Just framed
but
pictures.
just everything was just like thrown in there like it was a giant dumpster.
And like,
then you walk a little further.
And you get like, once you get through that section, there's like a hallway that you kind of go down, and then there's like all the other vendors in the barns, and
there's a good toy store in there.
There's a couple good toy stores.
Well, I mean,
are you talking about the one that we went in?
I'm thinking about the one to the right
with the bin full of the wrestlers we were looking at.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm thinking. What was it? They had like a giant thing of something. I don't know. They always have the really good like quality. Like they had the Dragon Ball Z action figures.
Okay. Yep.
All that other. You remember what I'm talking about? It's like kind of darker walls over there, like purplish.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
on the opposite side of the awesome video game store.
Oh, so you're back in the main building. We're not in the barn right now.
No, that's in the barn.
Oh.
I'm not talking about the toy store that's in the main building.
Okay, yeah.
Kinda,
okay. I got you. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Too rich for my blood.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So yeah, there's that toy store. There's quite a few, I guess,
toy booths,
Toy booths,
whatever.
yeah. The one I remember in specific, so this day that we went into these barns, I was quite gassy.
Oh, God.
So I've reached higher levels of, so I'm, for those who are not educated, I am a very farty human. And, normally they're just very loud. I've had some very loud toots. But this day in specific, they were very, very stinky toots, and I don't think I've reached this level of toxicity since coming out of my ass.
Yeah, not that I can remember.
But I remember we found this toy booth, and like, Sean has a son, and like even me, like, I'm a nerd. If I see a cool action figure, I don't care. I'm gonna buy it. Who's it hurting?
Whatever.
Like, what does it matter? But we found this booth that had a bin, like a huge Rubbermaid tub of wrestling figures, and we were like, holy shit! Like we should look through this. It had Jack Specific, it had Mattel, it had even the old WWF ones. Yep. And I remember we're squatted down, and I just kept farting. It's just.
And come on, dude.
And it stunk. It smelled like something crawled in my ass and died. And I
had nowhere to go.
Yeah,
I was trapped in the store.
It's like a little tight store. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But
no way out.
As wrestling pay-per-view, no way out. But yeah, as you traverse your way down the hallway through the barn, it progressively gets less cluttered. The stores get better. And then, at the end, there's like, as Sean said, a pretty cool toy store. They had the Star Wars figures. They had Marvel and DC figures. They had Dragon Ball figures. Everything.
And like weird shit too. Like it's not like.
Is that where I bought the Kylo Ren? Is that what you're thinking of?
Might be.
Yeah, I think so.
Didn't they have like a big like life-size something?
Goku.
Was it Goku?
They had a Goku that was probably like 3 feet tall.
No, I'm saying life-size. Like, didn't they have like some life-size?
I think they did.
Superhero.
I think
something?
they did. It was like a Batman or something. Yeah, it was something ridiculous.
I can't remember.
But yeah,
that one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then they have some garbage in there too. But like every store at Q-Mart has a little bit of garbage.
Yeah.
Except for that new music store.
There is a new music store. I wish I knew.
Hagstrom's.
I wish I knew what they were called. I would plug them, but if you go,
they're nice in there.
If you go into Q-Mart, it's all the way on the left side. There's a music store. It kind of has like a sliding wooden door.
Is it by the supermarket?
Yeah, it's towards the end near the supermarket, right? But they have some really nice instruments, really nice guitar pedals. If you're into that kind of thing, I would highly recommend going there and checking it out. If you're in the market for some musical gear, but yeah,
I want that Phantom End, dude.
Yeah, dude,
that thing was so sick.
They had. I'm surprised. Like I would buy guitar from Q-Mart now. Like knowing that place is there.
That thing played like butter.
Yeah,
it was so nice.
Very nice.
Hagstrom's just on point.
And the people seemed cool who owned it. Like they seemed really nice.
Yeah, I mean they didn't bother us.
No,
so that was cool.
But yeah, in the barn, you get down to the end, and there's the toy place, and then there's a video game store called Doghouse Gaming.
Yes.
For whatever reason. Well, you know what? I think we were going to buy something there when we went back, and every time we've gone back, the barns have been closed. Like, it's like we're hitting it too late.
Yeah. Because they close earlier, don't they?
I think they close at like 5 or 6, yeah.
That's so early.
But, like, yeah,
Were they all, like, 90 in there?
I don't know. Maybe it's just, like, the rule for the barns or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
But like the guy had a nice variety of every system.
N64, he had a lot of
N64.
really good ones.
PS2, PS3, PSP, Xbox, GameCube. He had everything. Really cool store. So Q-Mart, fun adventure. But now one of the things that we started doing, so Sean moved back up here end of 2017. The beginning of, I remember, I think we went, and one time we noticed there was a poster on the wall for professional wrestling at Q-Mart. And we said, we got to go to that. And like for 2 months, we're like, we got to go. And then I think my friend Doug hit me up and he was like, oh, dude, like, did you know they have wrestling at Q-Mart? And Doug knows I'm a wrestling fan. Doug, who was on an episode of the podcast previously this season, if you've listened to it, he's like a quiet, modest kid guy. He's not a kid, he's a guy. And he's like, oh, they have wrestling at Q-Mart. And he's like, I'm going to try and get my friends to go. And I said, Sean and I have been wanting to go. Let's do it. So like we went with the boys on a Saturday night in January.
Was that our first time going with them?
Yep, it was with them. That was the time that Doug left halfway through the show because he got too fired up.
Excited.
He was like, I can't. He's like, I can't be here, man.
He was getting angry.
He got mad at the tweener.
Yeah, that's who. What?
Well, he's not the tweener anymore. He's Platinum Max Caster, who's now on his name now. Who is now on All Elite Wrestling.
Hell yeah!
Totally deserved.
So sick.
If you're a wrestling fan, go check him out.
He
Max
has great
Caster.
charisma.
Mm-hmm.
Great charisma. He's an excellent talker.
And fun fact, he was trained by Kurt Hawkins.
Oh, is that right?
He was trained at the Creative Pro Wrestling School. Yep. So him and the alien Chris Statlander both trained by Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, she was phenomenal too when we saw her.
And so like I guess let's just start out that January night not knowing what to expect. Sean and I being wrestling fans for pretty much almost our whole lives, honestly.
I mean, as far back as I can remember. I was watching when I was little and like the natural disasters were on, like in the Bushwhackers and Big Boss Man, like way back, Bam Bam Bigelow. Those are like my favorites.
Yeah, dude, Bam Bam Bigelow is definitely
Jake the Snake. Now I see Jake the Snake and I'm like, oh god, dude, like I like that. Oh, because he had a snake. That's why. Like that was the cool factor. Terrible wrestler. I mean, sorry.
But yeah, being wrestling fans for so long, we didn't really know what to expect. We didn't have our hopes set too high because it's Q-Mart.
Yeah.
And like when we went in, like we saw the ring.
And we were like, I could probably build better.
Yeah, like the ring, even at the one event, the ring broke.
Yeah.
Someone got like back suplexed and like the corner of the ring and it like got like jacked up or something like that.
Well, yeah, remember like a couple of times the legs looked like they were starting to kick out and we were like, oh shit.
Yeah, like the ring posts looked like they were bending inwards. And, or, the mat on the floor, the ring mat was like red, but then there was like electrical tape all over it. Like they were just holding it together with tape, and
it was so horrible.
You could see like the ring posts were all rusted out, and their steel steps were not steel steps; they were plastic steps or fiberglass steps or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, it was just not a good setup.
Like a bucket.
And it's funny because like you go to Q-Mart, it's like all these little booths, and then like all of a sudden there's this room, and you're like, I wonder what they have in there. Like there's nothing in there all month except for one day out of the month. They have professional wrestling. They bring in the crew. They set up the ring. And they have a wrestling show. And
if you want to call it that.
Yeah, we've seen maybe... I could probably count on one hand the good matches we've seen. And it's probably less than a whole hand.
I feel like we've seen the same match too many times.
Yeah. And I remember...
The Atkins brothers.
Yeah, they were... I don't even know if they're still the tag champions. So
I'm sure they are.
When we started going, as I said, it was January, and I think after we went once, we were like, let's just go every month. Let's make this a monthly thing. Like,
see what happens.
Because we were living together at the time, because Sean and his family, they were, they just relocated from out of state. They were still trying to get back on their feet financially, and then like get their own house. House hunting takes time, it takes money, it takes effort, so like they were living with us, so like we were like, one Saturday a month, let's go and have an outing and go to fucking Q-Mart wrestling. And so basically we started going every month, and it turned into trying to get as many people to go as we can, because over time, so like there'd be months, I remember like the first month we went and it was pretty lit. That's when the real deal Mike Goldstein was there with Jolly Roger.
Oh, he was so good. Where did he go?
I think he went to greener pastures.
I guess so, man. Like he had a talent.
It's a typical professional wrestling crowd cheering for all of the good guys and booing all of the bad guys, whereas there was us who were sitting there cheering on Mike Goldstein and Jolly Roger, who were the bad guys.
I mean, we cheered on the actual talent.
Yes.
We didn't cheer on the characters.
It's true.
We cheered on the talent.
Yep.
And if that happened to be like the dude had a good character and he was a good wrestler, then it was for the character as well. But I mean, yeah, the best wrestlers got our attention.
Exactly. And so we cheered on. The main event was actually this guy Mike Goldstein, who his character was like a sailor, and Jolly Roger, who was like his masked sidekick. They're supposed to be two Navy guys, pirate guys,
ghost or something.
Yeah,
because he had that weird ghostly mask.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And they wrestled the tag team champions, the Atkins brothers, who apparently had won the titles 2 months before we even started going in November.
I think they made those titles just for them.
Yeah, because then, I mean, every month. So we went every month of the year, and every month, the Atkins brothers, there were some months where it'd be like, you could see who was challenging for the titles, and you would already know the Atkins brothers are going to win. Yep. But then there were a couple months where they had very viable, legitimate challengers. And
that were way better at wrestling than they were.
Because, you'd see, the typical Q-Mart wrestlers, fat, overweight, out of shape, just shitty costume. I'm thinking
they look like they smelled.
I'm picturing right now Cody Rose,
who had
these tights, these ballroom Renaissance tights that didn't fit, and he was wearing Air Jordan, or not even, probably some sort of shitty basketball shoes.
Yeah, the Payless Shacks or something like that.
Just and just awful, but then there were the actual talents, as we said, Max Caster, who actually had wrestling gear, dope ass gold boots.
Hell,
and he had his own tights that he made, and
sick.
actually could perform moves and hold up in the ring and actually put on a good match.
Yeah. He was great, and he was built like a wrestler.
Yeah,
instead of built like a twig or a fat tub of lard.
Or as we said, there were these guys that were built awful and they had really no character, no charisma. And then there were tag teams like our favorite Team España.
Oh my god,
Jose and Jose B.
Phenomenal.
They
were so entertaining. Dude.
Challenged the Atkins 2 or probably 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And every time we were like, this is it. This has got to be the month. Normally with wrestling, there'll be if it's say guys challenging for titles and they keep losing, there's normally that one last match, and you're like, that's usually when they win. Yep. Or it's either there's a back and forth, or it's all building up to one match where there's a big payoff.
Yep.
Jose and Jose B, they were Spanish. Their characters were Spanish soccer guys. They came out and they had their own soccer jerseys made with Jose and Jose B written on the back.
Didn't they come out with a soccer ball too?
Yeah. And they were
so great.
They were so great, and they had so much personality to them, and
they worked together so well.
Yep.
They were totally one.
And they were so in sync, and they were just they were talented wrestlers. They put on a show. They could put on a show. They could rope you in,
and they're funny as shit.
Yep. And that was the other thing too. It was just so entertaining to watch, and sadly they never were given the recognition that they deserved. The promoter Dino, who is very old school minded, he's that old 80s mentality of the good guys and the bad guys, foreign guy versus American guy, which
foreign guy's always the bad guy,
which caught
even
him,
though I'm the foreign guy.
Dino was some Italian, Greek,
Mediterranean guy.
He always talked like this, and
had a big mustache.
We have a big show for you tonight. It was okay. So let's talk about. So there were the Atkins brothers, held the titles every month, and we're gonna get to the end of our time at Q-Mart wrestling. It was actually the Atkins brothers, I think, that made us. The Atkins brothers and the main event that time, I think, is what made us say, we're fucking done. But the layout of the show, always the same. Bell time was supposed to be at, let's see, I have a poster right here. It says doors open at 6, bell time 6:30. Bell time was usually 7:30. They always started way later than the poster advertised.
Sometimes later.
Yeah, there was one time we sat there from 6:30 till 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then the show would run till 10:30.
Yeah, which that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care how late it goes.
But it's just
make it worth my while.
Yeah. and it was just a very disheveled, unorganized promotion.
Awful.
And basically the show would always start with Dino would come out. So we'd have.
Wait.
They had hold on. I'm forgetting. They'd have their intro blasting through the speakers that must have been blown out.
Wait.
Oh, wait, what am I missing?
Not even the intro yet.
Oh, are we talking about just sitting there waiting for it to start? Okay.
And they would just put that stupid music on as loud as possible, so you couldn't even hear each other, like, while you're talking right next to each other. And it was just like, what were a couple of the songs? I can't even think.
Oh, Black Betty. Black Betty.
Like very popular older songs.
Yeah, that no one likes anymore.
But like it was like full blast, and it was always the exact same songs.
And to coincide with that, who was always sitting across the Q-Mart arena from us dancing and singing along?
Sharon Osbourne. And Old Blue.
Old Blue. So, before we get into, I guess, the rest of the show, we should talk about the fans that you would see at Q-Mart Wrestling.
Yeah. They had about 10 teeth between all of them. I don't know. That's just a guesstimate.
Yeah, there was the Toothless Wonder, who was in front of us the first show.
He did tap!
Which was a woman that was missing pretty much all
Was that a
teeth.
Woman? I don't know what. I think that was a blob. I don't even know what that was.
And her husband, the no-neck, redneck wonder.
He looked like he had his face punched in. It was always really red and swollen looking. It was so weird.
And he had this fat double neck chin thing, like
his neck went
like
into his head.
He had like a front.
He looked like a pimple.
He had like a
like a big white head
big
pimple.
Fat pimple. He had like a front butt on his
the verge
neck.
of popping.
Yeah,
he really did have like a front butt on his neck.
Yeah, and
disgusting.
And
I'm sorry.
Speaking of, we're not trying to be mean. We're just trying to describe what you would see. But yeah, the reason why we bring that up is the first month we were there, we're cheering for Mike Goldstein, and he's putting on a show, acting like a total complete ass, and we're the only people cheering him on, and you could tell that the other fans, the regular fans, were like, "What the fuck is wrong with these guys?" Even though we changed the tide of that, we turned the tide of that audience, but we're gonna get there in a little bit
eventually.
But yeah, at the end of the match, Mike Goldstein realized we were the only people cheering for him.
Yep.
And he tapped out. That was the finish of the match. But he's like, "I didn't tap out." And he looks at us and he points at us. He goes, "Did I tap?" And we said, "No, he didn't tap." And the Toothless Wonder turns around and goes, "He did tap."
She was like so pissed at us.
Yeah.
She's like, "You guys are stupid," pretty much. Like in that he did tap. Like, are you blind?
Who else was there? There was always that guy who would bring, I think it was like a couple
Tommy
dads.
Dreamer?
Okay, yeah, there was a guy that would sit in front of us who was he a Marine veteran? He was like a military veteran, I think, or he worked or you said he worked at some sort of, like, you looked at his shirt one time and he worked for some Union Steel place.
Yeah, I think so. Some Union guy, but he was cool.
He was super cool. He was one of the more normal people. He'd always bring like his sons, and
the one would always spill his popcorn.
Yeah, or the one was like playing his Nintendo DS the whole time.
Yeah,
he's playing Smash, and I was like, "Bro, you're playing Bowser Jr. He's trash."
Remember, he wouldn't stop turning around to talk to us, and we're like, "Okay, like shut the fuck up."
That was the time. So Sean got his friend Mike to go from where he works, and Mike was like, "Oh, look at that! Look at that!" He was like trying to get the kid to turn around,
like distracting the kid. And,
but yeah, so Tommy Dreamer, and the reason why we call him that's not his real name, but he kind of reminded me of the wrestler Tommy Dreamers. Which
I don't know why, honestly.
I don't know, but he was really nice. Then there was the guys across from us. It was like a couple dads would bring their kids. They always had the signs.
Yeah.
Like they were normal. They were the more normal people, and then there was like.
And then it was the one kid's birthday the one time, right?
Yeah.
That was.
We'd always see them at John's Plain and Fancy afterwards.
Yeah,
when we
that's
went
right.
There.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then there was Lightning. The guy was always wearing like a hockey jersey. That was getting like real into it.
Oh my god! He would go nuts.
You could tell, something. He had like a screw loose mentally. He wasn't all there, but like he loved these wrestling events. He was going ape shit.
That
but
was like
that's what you need.
Yeah.
At those events, like they would be boring as fuck if you didn't have people like us or like Lightning or.
Yeah, he was electrifying. In a contagious way.
Yeah, jeez. Oh man, I'm trying to think now as well. So there was this white trash lady who brought her who brought her
Oh,
children,
God.
and she was cussing up a storm and with her kids there, dropping
I forgot
F-bombs,
about that.
yelling, "Show 'em what a real man is!"
She was disgusting. I was like embarrassed for her.
Yeah,
Like she was just
weak.
horrible. I couldn't imagine living with that woman. She was just disgusting. I think she had like a big Wendy's cup, like the biggest you could get, and I think there was alcohol in there because like in the beginning of the show, she wasn't that belligerent.
No.
And then towards the end, I was like, they're gonna throw her out. Like she's just cursing at everyone. Like she was a bitch.
Like Brickhouse yelled at me for saying ass. And
Yeah.
she was sitting there dropping F-bombs.
Yeah, and he didn't say shit to her.
Yeah.
Brickhouse sucked.
Yeah, we're going to get to Brickhouse in a few seconds. Just to wrap up the fans, there were those two cool guys that we sat with. The one time, the big black guy and his
Mark
friend.
Henry.
Yeah, so there was this guy again, someone who's probably like mentally challenged, and he came up to us and he was like, "Oh, you guys, you look like he told me I looked like Hulk Hogan."
Which is not even close.
No. He told Sean he looked like Sheamus. These are all wrestlers, by the way.
I have a red beard. Oh my God, I'm Sheamus now.
And then there were these guys next to us, and they were really cool. They were like...
He was really reaching for them.
Yeah.
Well, us, I guess.
Yeah.
More so.
And the white guy, too. It was like a white guy and a black guy, and the white guy looked like The Undertaker, which totally not even close.
Yeah. And then the black guy didn't look even close to Mark Henry,
I felt
just because he was like a heavy dude.
A heavy black guy. He said he looked like Mark Henry.
Mark Henry.
And we were all like, bro.
That was very uncomfortable.
But yeah, like these dudes were super cool. And like the thing is we figured out, so the first month we went, and we can't forget mentioning fans without mentioning the legend, Travis.
Oh my God.
There was a kid, Travis.
Travis was phenomenal.
I
think he loved us.
Us?
Yeah, he loved us at one point. Because we'd go like back and forth with shit, and like we'd chant the same thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Like we fed off of each other.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by loved us.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was great.
Yeah, he was a great guy. Q-Mart wrestling regular, but really, really sweet kid. But yeah, we quickly found out, that these events, if you didn't make them fun for yourself, they were beat as hell. First month was decently lit, we made it kind of fun. The second month, I remember we went and we left and we were just kind of like, man, that sucked. Like that was really fucking boring.
Yeah.
And then, we went the third month with the idea of, well, let's just make it fun. I think that time we like got all caffeinated on WAWA beforehand.
Of course.
I think
then that was the tradition.
You may have had like a Red Bull or something like that. And
yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
But that's when we sat with these guys. There's we didn't even catch their names. We just were like, they were like,
awesome.
They were like, oh, like what do you guys do? And we said, well, we like to heckle the wrestlers. And they were like, oh, really? Like
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's so great.
That time it was just Sean and I, and then these two guys. And the thing is,
we were
like,
going off.
This is when the tide started to turn. We started to see a change of heart in the crowd, as we were cheering for, as we said, the talented guys as opposed to just the characters. And we would heckle wrestlers. There was the English Muffin, who was this fat, fake British diaper butt, front butt.
Loaded diaper. Or droopy diaper. Sorry, droopy diaper.
People call him the English Muffin, and he'd be like,
I'm not the English Muffin.
He looked like he had stinky farts for sure.
Yeah,
like,
stinky everything.
He probably had IBS.
There was a speed bump. Roadblock. There's a wrestler, Roadblock.
Barely fucking walk. Oh, you know who could barely fucking walk?
Molson Ice.
Oh, dear Lord.
His name was Molson.
And he was the champion. Like, what the heck? Just because he's like 400 pounds of fat? Like, what the hell?
He's like this 50-year-old, can't even move around the ring.
Gross.
Needs a hip replacement.
Like, sorry,
needs everything.
But like, dude, like, you shouldn't be here. He broke his ankle the one time just rolling out of the ring.
Yeah, and they'd strip him of the title. And then
Yeah.
the next month they put the title, like a vacant title match. It was like Ken Andrews, who was actually a talented wrestler.
Yeah.
Younger guy, flew around
he
the
was
ring,
funny
very
as shit
entertaining.
too.
With Kimberly Spirit, his manager.
Yeah. And he was a good heel and a good baby face.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was like a triple threat. Him and the Muffin and that Leo Sweet guy. That was the time Ken Andrews did the Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
I have a video of that. And of course they had the English Muffin go over and win the world title. Another
out of those three, why him?
From one fat middle-aged guy to another fat middle-aged guy.
That's the standard. My favorite part about those two guys was when the women's match came on.
Oh, yeah. Okay, tell the story.
So this lady comes out that we've never seen before, and was it me or was it you that said, whose mom is that?
That was me. That would be me.
Yeah, I couldn't remember it, but like we were like ragging on this lady, and they were like eating it up, like loving it.
Yeah.
And then like later on, she came up to them and was talking to them.
They were like
we
friends.
We were like, oh shit,
yeah,
like, my bad. But like we didn't say anything.
The dudes just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, they didn't care. They loved it.
Yeah, and like
they're like, you know, hassling her too a little bit.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So like, it was great.
Yeah, that's part of being a wrestler, though. You just gotta take, you know, and you gotta take what the crowd gives you, and just make a chicken salad out of chicken shit sometimes.
Yep.
Any professional wrestler, no matter how high the level, will tell you that.
Yep.
From the top to the bottom.
That's every job, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just on a different kind of level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the talent there, and the third month we went, there were these guys, and we really started heckling that, and that's how we made it fun. You know, we're all hyped up. I remember Sean, because I think the month before, we were just really tired, and like halfway through the show, we were like falling asleep. And the third month, Sean was like, "Dude, we got to get hyped. Like, we need coffee, we need Red Bull, and that's what we did. And we were lit that time. We were
it was great,
fired up.
Yeah.
And that's when we started picking on James Brickhouse.
Was it that time?
I think that was the time when we started tearing him down, and we were like, "You suck, Brickhouse."
Yeah.
So Brickhouse, he was part-time ring announcer, part-time referee.
If you want to call him either one of those things.
If you want to go look at the meme page that we had made, look up Shithouse 2.0 on Instagram.
Yeah, there was an original. And then I tried to friend request him because I was like, oh,
and he reported it.
Yeah, and he got it taken down because he's an asshole. So
there was James Brickhouse. We started heckling him, and that was the month we almost made him cry. I think
he was jealous because our photoshopping skills were better than his.
Yeah, he had some pretty poor. We
did it on our cell phones.
Yeah, there were times where we would take his shitty Photoshop photos and put them in our Photoshop photos, and ours would look way better than his.
Oh yeah, we crushed him on that front.
But yeah, we started harassing him, and that was the time we had like the Boo Boo Brickhouse chant going.
Oh yes.
And you know, Sean would be like, every match, he'd be like, "You suck, Brickhouse," you know, and like
randomly, just like every 5 minutes or less.
And then these dudes sitting next to us started this chant, the Brickhouse has a boner chant.
Is that what that was?
Yep. Brickhouse has a, and we couldn't believe it because we tried to keep it like at least somewhat, you know, family friendly. We didn't want to get kicked out by Dino.
Well, no,
we didn't want to take it too far because like that's his promotion, you know.
So we tried not to curse, but
like these dudes started a Brickhouse has a boner chant, and we were like,
whoa,
okay. That I was crying laughing.
That's like right on the line. I don't know. Do we cross that? I don't know.
I think that was the time that Brickhouse got slapped by Kimberly Spirit at the end of the show. And we had this picture of him just laying dead, just like laying there, staring at the ceiling like, fuck my life, I am so done.
You should probably put that on the little thumbnail for this, or whatever you want to call it. The cover for this one.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It should be on there.
But yeah, he was just, you could just tell, and there were points in that like we could see it in his eyes, like he was getting heavy eyed, and like you could tell he
looked like he was gonna cry. He was on the verge.
Yeah. And he just, I don't know, man. We started ragging on him, and then so like we were like, that was a lot of fun. I remember we left that night and we were like, that was amazing. That was the best time yet. So after that, we started trying to get everyone we could go. Sean, everyone, we tried getting everyone to go that we could. Sean got his friend Mike to go, who would bring his friend, and Mike's friend Joe came. And then
they came a couple times.
I got my coworker Mike, who I did the Peapod episodes with. Him and his girlfriend would come. We took a bunch of people, and basically we would try and fill. So we had the same section we'd sit in every time, and we basically would try and fill. We wanted to try and fill this whole section of like 3 rows of seats with people. Yeah. Never happened. We usually filled like one. Yeah.
I don't have enough friends.
But
I don't have any friends.
our little group was enough to like totally get the place fired up. Us screaming and yelling and
infectious.
Like Sean's friend Mike, or even us too. I remember we were walking through, so we'd always go and do a Q-Mart adventure before the show, and I remember we were walking through, and I think someone came up to us and was like, "Oh, are you guys wrestling tonight?" And we were like, No.
Yeah, like no.
No. Like at the time I was heftier. I was probably like 30 pounds heftier, and I don't know where you were at,
I
but
don't
like,
know.
but either.
I don't even know where I am now.
But yeah, and like Sean's friend Mike looks like a wrestler, and I think someone
Well,
asked him if
and-
he was a wrestler
And
too.
him and his friend Joe had mullets at the time.
Yeah.
And like they looked like a tag team.
Yeah.
It was great.
So like that was just, we had quite a rowdy crowd of people, and like we started changing the tide of that crowd, man. We would start chants. We would get the crowd. We were the ones that like opening bout right off the bat. We got everyone fired up.
Oh yeah.
We got the place moving, and that was the key. You had to get everyone hot early on.
Yep.
Otherwise
it was just painful.
it was just we were
it
like,
just
all right.
dragged on.
There were a couple of times where we sat there and we were like, I just want to go eat this.
Yeah, like I just want to go. This shit sucks.
But
like at the same time, you didn't want to miss like anything because like, what if the next match is like hot fire?
What if the Atkins lose the titles tonight?
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
But yeah. So we made it a fun experience as much as we could. We went for a whole year. I'm trying to think if there are any memories that stick out to me from that year that we haven't touched on yet. They were always trying to get a table to put someone through a table, and they'd always like go and they'd fight in the crowd, and then the guy would grab the table, you'd be pointing at it and looking at Dino in the back of the room, and Dino would always shake his head and say no. And then the one time I think Sean couldn't go because he was on night shift.
Bullshit.
They used a table.
Of course.
It was
I wasn't
Mr.
there.
Rob Zaccardi.
Yeah, fucking.
Weighing a street value of 31 million? 31 million.
Yeah, like
Rob Zaccardi.
he always looked coked out. He was already sweating before he even started wrestling.
We always called him Vin Diesel.
Yeah, he looked like somebody off of the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Like
Sean always started a Too Fast, Too Furious chant.
yeah,
Too Fast, Too Furious.
it was great.
This guy'd come out just drenched in sweat from the time he walked through the curtain.
Yeah, it was insane.
They always had to wipe the mat down after he was done. But
he was like the only one that like broke a sweat there.
Yeah.
But like he was one of the most in shape guys besides Slayer, of course.
Oh, Slayer was amazing. He was one of our favorites.
Beast.
Yeah.
Slayer.
Regular every month. Why didn't he have the title?
I don't know.
He was there every month.
He was probably like up there in the top 3.
Yeah.
I would say.
Like, did he ever get a title shot? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Bullshit.
But he came out like chewing on a fake arm, and he had a straitjacket on, and he like came into like some like Slayer Exodus or something, like some
sort of like thrash metal. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Great character.
He was dope. And
So consistent, and he was like this jacked little like Italian dude.
Yeah.
Like,
he looks like Kirk Hammett.
Yeah, like a Kirk Hammett, but like if he was in Slayer. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, the one time Sean couldn't go because he was on night shift. Rob Zaccardi pile drove someone through a table.
Bullshit.
And it was I remember marking the fuck out because I was like, oh my god, they finally did it. And I remember I texted him and he was like, of course. Yep.
Because I wasn't there.
But
I'm still bitter.
But either way, were there any memories I haven't touched? And I know we did.
When we went on the road with them.
That's where I was gonna go. We went on the Q-Mart World Tour, October of 2018. The reason why I remember that is because I was working at Shit Dicks, my least favorite warehouse job.
Shit Dicks.
Yeah, they get no endorsement from me. We shit all over them on the Men at Work special.
Yeah, I remember. I listened to that.
Yeah, and it was just like I remember. I was like, big weekend. And I was like, oh, we're following them to Pottstown. They had a triple WA. It was the Worldwide Wrestling Alliance.
Yep.
And they had 2 shows a month. There would be one in Pottstown, formerly at Zern's Farmers Market, but they would do one in Pottstown at this shitty Coventry Mall.
That's right. Oh, God. Horrible mall. But you know what? They had that one, like, horror kind of movie mask store.
Didn't they have, like a haunted house in there?
I think there was like one of those escape rooms. Yeah, that's what it was. And then Gabe's.
Yeah, so we went on the road with them to Pottstown, and then later in the month Q-Mart. But the Pottstown experience. So I had never been to Pottstown. I think I'd driven through it maybe.
Yeah, that same.
So like we hit a diner that that is going to be the second part of the episode. Spoiler alert. There was always a diner run before or after Q-Mart Wrestling, but we're going to get there in the next episode. We hit a diner, and then we're like, oh, well, it's at a mall. Like, let's give ourselves enough time to like walk around the mall, see what's there, you know.
Yeah, there wasn't much.
You know, we got there and realized that like half the stores that said were inside the mall online were closed and gone.
It was interesting.
We did a little bit of urbexing.
Yeah.
Because we literally had so much time before the show, and we are like, what are we going to do? And we found this abandoned house.
Yep.
I have a little video of it that I took.
And we like walked over to it, looked in the windows, and there was like paint peeling off
it
of
was
the
something
ceiling
out of, like,
and
it
the
was something out of
walls.
like a horror movie, dude. It was fucking creepy.
It was kind of creepy.
Very creepy.
The basement door was open.
Remember there was like the Mother Mary thing like on the window?
I don't remember
one of the
that.
upper windows, they had like a Mary, like a little praying like angel or
Oh,
Mary
really?
or something like on the window. Yeah,
So
it was like
I
a
don't
decoration on
remember
the wall, maybe.
Huh.
Yeah, the basement door, like Sean literally just like the lock was busted off. I mean, Sean like pushed the door open, and we talked about going in, but we're like, dude, it's probably like a little crack house in there or something. Like
Yeah,
that. It seemed really
no
sketchy.
thanks. Yeah, you know what? They were probably making meth in there or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's Pottstown, so probably meth.
But like we literally gave ourselves too much time, and so like we urbexed.
Yeah.
And we went into this store named Gabe's. It was
Ugh.
like near the mall, I guess, kind of.
No, I think it was attached.
Was it? It was like it was an anchor store, I guess.
Yeah.
If you want to call it that. But yeah,
Huge
basically,
store of just shit.
yeah, it was like a B-rate
They had
TJ
like,
Maxx or B-rate Marshalls. Like Marshalls is good, and then there's Home Goods.
Yeah.
But it was literally like the bottom of like, you know, like dollar store version of Marshalls.
yeah, not even, because like their toys weren't even like dollar store.
Oh yeah,
Toys, were they?
Oh yeah, no.
Some of those like what didn't they have some like Ninja Turtles knockoffs?
Yeah, like Power
wrestling
Ranger
knockoffs and like
it was like the front of the action figure was painted, but the back was just like a like whatever the color of the plastic
It was
was.
just
No
trash.
articulation.
Yeah.
That was the time I think I found deer repellent and I just sprayed it all over the shelf because that was the time I walked into the store. I hiked my gym shorts up to like my nipples over my hoodie and everything.
Oh my god.
And I think you remember that? I think I was talking
Yeah.
about like how much weight I've lost, and I was like, "Oh man, I've lost so much weight." It's like some stupid. We were just trying to kill time before.
So ridiculous.
The venue there was a little bit nicer though for wrestling. It was like
it was.
you know, they had like some nice neon lights around
The ceiling was
trim
just a
ceiling.
little higher.
Yeah. That was the one thing with Q-Mart. The Q-Mart arena, they couldn't really jump off the top rope too much. You kind of just had to like fall off the top rope.
Yeah. Well, you know, there were a couple of better wrestlers down at that show for some reason.
That was the time we saw Little Mermaid guy.
Yeah, I don't know like what his name was, but he was phenomenal,
He was
super
hilarious.
entertaining, and
Then there was
Yeah.
also Wannabe Viscera. Touch my hand
That
and be
was-
free.
you remember we saw him walking around the mall for
Yeah.
like coming in
Yeah.
from the outside.
Mhm.
And I was like, dear God, look at the size of that guy.
Yeah.
And I think he heard me.
Yeah.
And I felt kind of bad, but like, I mean, if you're 500 pounds and like, you know, 5'7" or whatever you want, like, come on, dude. Like, you're gonna get looked at, you know.
Oh yeah.
People are gonna talk.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're very noticeable.
Yeah. There was for sure some talent that time at that
Yeah.
show though.
For sure.
Um
That was the first time we saw that like cokehead, like extreme right wing guy. Do you remember that guy?
no.
No. I think he was with SpongeBob.
Oh, are you talking about Franklin the Turtle?
No, wait, Franklin the Turtle.
Remember Franklin? His name was like the
You mean
orphan or whatever.
Spanky Arbuckle?
Oh,
What? I think he was with Spanky, wasn't he? He looked like that typical like '90s douchebag, like Gold's Gym member, but like
I know exactly who you're talking
he's
about.
like, I did steroids.
Totally know.
Once.
Yep. And they always had this spot. There was this guy,
Shitty fucking
Spanky.
tan.
Yep. And there's this guy Spanky Arbuckle who was tagged
So
teamed with this
cringy.
guy. They'd always do a stupid fucking spot that like a 5-year-old would think is funny. They'd always have Spanky's pants fall down. Haha, he looked like a Billy Corgan douchebag. Like wannabe Billy Corgan,
Yeah, but like terrible.
like white trash Billy Corgan.
Yeah, it was just terrible.
Yeah. So
Not funny.
Yeah.
He's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Really. Like, he was really an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like one of those, like, neo-Nazi kind of types.
Like he'd have red laces in his docks.
Yeah. Or white.
Yeah.
Your choice.
Yes, we traveled with them to Pottstown. And then I remember, like, towards the end of 2018, we were, like, getting sick of just the same outcomes every match. The English Muffin was the world champion.
So disappointing.
The Atkins brothers were just running through totally viable, entertaining teams. Like, let's explain the Atkins brothers real quick. They were these twins, just really safe, like, typical good guys, came out with their,
wrestling singlets.
Yeah, and they had this dumb... So, like, Daniel Bryan is a wrestler who has, like, the yes chant. He was like, yes, yes. And they'd come out and they'd go, wrestling, wrestling, wrestling. Ugh. Like, total ripoff, corny.
So lame.
Just really safe. They weren't even really that good at wrestling.
What were their names?
There was Brian, and Rob.
Which one was the better one? Was it Rob?
Rob was the one that was, like, more in shape. Brian was, like, really skinny,
and he like always, like, saved the day.
And he always had, like, a boner.
Yeah, that's right. Brian has a boner.
Yeah, we started that chant too.
Yeah, it was so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it's like, bro, tie that thing down.
Yeah, or, like, get a jock or something.
Yeah, wear
compression
something.
shorts,
a cup. Like, I don't care. Hide that. Like, if you get excited wrestling, you should probably hide that, because nobody's gonna want to wrestle with you. Yeah. Like, I don't want that rubbing against my leg.
Yeah,
it was worse.
Really frustrating watching them.
Ugh.
And I remember,
and they were so sloppy.
Yeah,
very unsafe sometimes.
Yeah,
it was
they
just
dropped
like,
quite a few guys on their heads.
Yeah, it was. I just wanted to whoop their asses for real.
Yeah, like, we literally had said we should go to wrestling school just so we could get in a program with them on the WWWA and take their titles.
Just destroy them.
Yeah, like go into business for ourselves.
Go off script and just lay waste.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Yeah, towards
dreams.
The end, I remember the last time we went. It was either December or January. It was December of 2018 or January of 2019. Like, we fulfilled our year-long commitment that we made to the WWWA, and I think it was December, because that was the time they faced those big. So the Atkins brothers were defending against these big dudes wearing, like, scary masks. Like, they looked like similar to, like, Kane from the WWE when he wore a mask. Like,
they were great.
And, like, their characters were just, like, these, like, couldn't take them down.
Just brutal.
Destructive.
Like, wall of dude.
And we were like, this is it. These are the guys that are going to take him down. Like, there's no way you can have the Atkins brothers defeat these guys. And they did it in the stupidest way possible. That was the time. So it was Christmas time.
Yeah.
They basically brought in, like, an empty present. And they were like, oh, I got you a gift. And the guy tried to punch it. And then he played, like, his hand was stuck in the present. And then it was like, oh, I can't use my hand. And then they, like, did their finisher and pinned him. And we were like, I remember after that, we were like, this is absolute horse shit. Like, we were furious. And then I think
they made those guys look like dude, pieces of shit.
Dude, how could I forget?
And they were such great wrestlers.
How could I forget the guys that they also buried quite a few times? The Filthy Family. Dirty Dan and Big Cal Stevens.
He licked your armpit.
He licked my armpit. Yeah, Dirty Dan licked my armpit.
He was really. They were both really good.
They're a really good tag team that could have been a great tag team champion. Great. Great tag team champions.
I'm sure they are somewhere else.
I hope so.
A different promotion.
But we loved them. And,
they were great.
They loved us too. And I remember that was during their match. They were wrestling either the Atkins brothers or they were in a singles match. And I remember I yelled, Dino's booking makes me sad.
Yes.
Like, at Dino. Like, loud enough for him to hear it. And, like, I think we were looking at each, like, making eye contact.
And one of them said, me too.
Yeah, Big Cal Stevens said, me too. And then he lost the match. Right. And it was totally, like, this talent is getting buried by these old, fat nobodies,
Yep.
And,
which, these young, annoying nobodies.
Yeah, young, out of shape nobodies. Yeah. And it's like, I guess, the good enough people got the last laugh. Like I said, Max Caster is now on AEW.
Yeah.
And, he totally deserves it. Chris Statlander on AEW, like the people who deserve it went somewhere, or they went elsewhere and wrestled for someone else. But, the last month, so, like, the Atkins went over totally bullshit on, a really good tag team. And that was the month that the English Muffin, I think he defended against, like, Tommy or something. Like he my friend Tommy I went to school with is a wrestler. He's gonna be on a future episode of the podcast. But
Can't believe he had to touch the English muffin.
yeah, well, he just texted me and was trying to get me to go to WWWA this month. Because he was like, yeah, putting me against the Muffin again. Or it's about our 4th or 5th match. He's going to bury me.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
That poor guy.
I know. And Tommy's
He's so talented.
so charismatic. He's a solid
yeah.
wrestler. Like, I would totally endorse him to be a world champion.
He plays a
somewhere.
great heel.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Even when he isn't wrestling, he's in character.
It's so great.
Like, I remember I was talking to him, like, Sean and I finally hit the better wrestling promotion, WXWC4 in Allentown, run by the Wild Samoans. We started going to them afterwards to see some good local wrestling.
Way better.
Which is Tommy's home show. And basically, I went up to Tommy afterwards. I was like, hey, man, like, I'm sorry. Like, I've been trying to get to a show. I just, like, you know, I've had some personal stuff going on, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, that's not my problem.
It was
like
great.
Just still in character,
so great.
Totally. And I to this day, I think
just being an asshole.
I love it. It's so amazing,
so good.
But yeah, he'd always give us a laugh when we watched him wrestle. Another good wrestler who had a WWE tryout. Remember Lance, NYE? Have you pronounced their Samoan last name?
I do not know.
Yeah,
I'm not good with stuff like that.
his name was Lance, I think.
Yeah.
He's part of the Samoan family. You know, if you're into wrestling, you know who we're talking about. But Lance, solid.
Wasn't he like on Raw?
Yeah, he was on Raw as like a jobber to Shane McMahon or something.
Max Caster was too.
Max Caster was one of Bobby Lashley's sisters.
Yes. Phenomenal. And so great.
I remember he was at
we were like, oh my God, get out of here.
Yeah, I was like, Sean, you got to see this.
Yeah, it was so sick.
And we were like, oh my God, it's the tweener, you know. And then the next time we went,
you know, the first time we saw him, we were like, that guy's gonna go somewhere.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Look at him
we
now.
were like, he is so good.
Mm-hmm.
And like he was just, he had mic skills.
Yeah. Well, and like we said, he had a personality and a charisma to him. And like, I remember he had his match stopped early the first time we went.
That's right.
Because he like, I think he grabbed his nuts and said like, suck on this. And Dino had them stop the match early.
Yeah.
And I remember he like tweeted it afterwards because I follow him on Twitter. And he's like, oh, I guess the tweener's too raunchy for wrestling. I had my match stopped early. Which is bullshit. Yeah. I understand being family friendly, but that's how you get heat. You need to have a bad guy to get heat.
Yeah.
And speaking of getting heat, we would get heat with the crowd sometimes because of our decisions and the chants we would start, and people would be like, "What the fuck is wrong with these
guys? Are assholes."
Yeah, like, and going back to being assholes, you know, we tore Brickhouse down the one night.
Oh yeah.
And then the next month we were like, you know, we were kind of mean last month, so let's be nice. And we were like yelling stuff like, go Brickhouse! You know, I think that's the month I yelled,
get in there, Brickhouse!
Yeah, that's when we started to get in there, Brickhouse chants. You know, we wanted Brickhouse to start kicking someone's ass, and that's
Brickhouse is the real champ.
Yeah, I think I said, give Brickhouse the belt, and he pointed at me and goes, yes. He's just, you know, like this 40-year-old virgin living in his mom's basement. Who he came to find dated Mike's girlfriend's daughter, or they were engaged to be married. Oof! Thank God that fell through. But either way, yeah, you know, we got to that last month, and that was the month that like the English Muffin retained his championship, of course. But then Molson Ice made his big glorious return, came out of nowhere and just pinned him.
I forgot about
the Muffin was laid out. Molson pins him, and they go, "Oh, Molson's the world champion," and we're like,
okay, we're done.
I remember we stood up and I was like, this is fucking bullshit. Like I was pissed.
Yeah, fuck that place.
I was absolutely pissed, and that's when I said, fuck you, Dean. I was like, I'm done. I was fired up.
It's upsetting.
It was upsetting, you know. It was an end of an era. They had it coming though, because of the repetitive booking, the people going over that shouldn't have. Yep. And you know, I realize now that we didn't even get to the structure of the show, but basically, you know, there'd be the music beforehand. There was Sharon Osbourne. There was like a Q-Mart Sharon Osbourne next to her friend that Sean called Old Blue, because she
always had blue in her hair.
Very shittily colored though.
It was horrible.
They were like these two women in probably like their mid to late 60s. They just looked beat as fuck.
Yeah.
Old Blue had these huge, massive boobs that were so big. I've never seen bigger boobs in my life.
They were fake.
And
for sure.
They were so
like
large.
Torpedoes.
They were so large that she had to wear like a giant weight belt just to like support her back. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
it was.
yeah. And we found out later on that they were the ring rats.
Yep.
They would stick around and try and have sex with the wrestlers after the show.
Probably like Wolfman and Molson Ice.
And Molson and, yeah, those types of guys.
English Muffin
would be
probably.
smashing.
Yeah. Ugh. Disgusting.
But yeah, the show, as Sean said, they'd have a shitty playlist that they would play through their speakers that were blown out anyways. They'd always be clipping the audio. And then they'd have their awful WWWA intro that would come on. You'd hear Macho Man saying something about the danger zone. He'd be like, oh, here goes. The show's starting. The lights would dim. They had like 2 little traffic or like police lights on the tops of the speakers that'd be on.
Yep.
Then Dino would come out to Living in America. And he'd cut the same promo. Oh, we have a very nice show for you tonight. And then whoever the big heel of the night was would interrupt him, or if it was the champion, the English Muffin, he'd be like, and then the good guy would come.
Shot at the title.
Yeah, and then the good guy would come out and save the day, and he'd be like, you know what? This is going to be a main event tonight. You're going to face you, and like that was yeah. And that's always how every show went. And then it was like a few matches, then an intermission. That's usually when we'd go get a drink or pee or whatever, to drink our pee.
Or try to shoot ourselves in the head.
And then we would, come back for the rest of the show.
Staple our head to the carpet somewhere so we didn't have to go back.
And it was just... we did this for a year, and after that last show, it was like a sad crash and burn, but almost all as well the perfect ending. We said we're going to finish the year out, and we said, well, what a good reason not to go back after that shit show we just witnessed.
That was probably the worst. That was the most disappointing fucking thing that could have happened, was Molson coming back and, I'm just going to sit on this guy and I get the fucking title again.
Yeah,
Fuck
Molson,
you, dude.
Molson, who like sprained his ankle and rolled out of the ring. They had to stop the main event and not even finish.
Just because he was so fat that he rolled his ankle just walking around.
And it's bullshit. Like, people actually cheered when he came back.
Yeah, like, he literally limped around the ring.
Yeah.
And he couldn't even talk.
Yeah, he's like,
it always sounded
drunk.
like he had like some kind of like, I don't know, like his tongue was too big for his mouth or something, like, he was just horrible.
Yeah.
He looked like he stank.
Yeah.
From under cheese everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just, unfortunate. But it was the end of, all good things must end, if you want to call that a good thing. It was an outing once a month. And when we got everyone to go, when we had our
bonding experience.
Yeah, when we had our...
Not that we weren't bonded before, but...
it was just like when we had our whole row filled, it was an entertaining night. You knew we were going to have fun. And Tommy Dreamer, when he was there...
Especially when Doug would, like, curse out the wrestlers that one time.
Yeah, because those who have listened to the episode that Doug's on, he's like a really, like, smart, quiet, clean kid. And, like, the one time he just got so furious. And he was like... I went, so for his real quick side note, for his bachelor party, we went to Q-Mart Wrestling, and he yelled something to the effect of, I hope your fucking family dies, or something like that. And I was like, Doug, what does Jesus think of that? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't even guess that he was capable of that kind of language.
Yeah, exactly. So just, I don't know. But all good things must come to an end, and every Q-Mart Wrestling experience was always started, depending on where we went, or finished with a diner trip, depending on if it was a 24-hour diner or not. But that is where we're going to wrap up here. If you like what you heard, you can follow the podcast here on SoundCloud. You can also follow it at Fueled by Coffee Pod on Instagram. Give it a like, share it with your friends. We got part 2 of the season finale coming up in 2 weeks, where we discuss our diner run after Q-Mart Wrestling or before Q-Mart Wrestling, and we have ranked our favorite diners. We're going to have diner wars with each other. It'll be interesting to see how different or similar our lists are. We both ranked them separately, so I'm sure there's going to be some, like, why would you rank that there questions going on, or there's going to be some diner beef going on.
Yeah.
If you like what you heard, follow the podcast. Greatly appreciated. And we will see you on the next one, where we are diner snobs.
Diner beefing.